In focus, speaking of interest rates.
Okay, well, it's obviously not going to go away, this story. As we know, the FOMC chose not to raise rates last night. And the question now is, will they rise at all in 2015? They expressed, the FOMC, expressed concerns about the global economy in China, despite what it saw, as I already said, a domestic stable outlook. Fed funds effectively tracks US interest rate policy, and it can be used to interpret the odds of a future rate rise. We can just see how it's traded, but there's the clear spike as people reacted to the idea that we weren't changing now, we might not change later in the year either. So the likelihood of an October move, or the odds of that, have reduced to 25% from an expectation of 37% pre-announcement and a read of 50% in August. And if we look further forward into December, then the market's telling us that the chance of a rate rise in December fall to 54% from a reading of 62% prior to the meeting, and as high as 73% from a month ago. That data all comes from the CME, Chicago Mercantile Exchange. It's very interesting to see now how the hopes of a rate rise in 2015 even, are ebbing away. That's not to say that they couldn't bounce back from that, but for the moment, I think the way that chart's moved and the way that those numbers have moved is telling us that people are becoming despondent, and they've got less belief in the idea that rates are going to go up this year.
But at least from a strategic point of view, the Fed coming up with a rise in December is probably the least messy thing to do. The market tend to be more stable at that time of the year, rather than pressing the button in September, October, which was almost certainly going to lead to mayhem.
Yeah, that's very true, and it may be that they prefer to do that, or at an absolute push, go early in the new year. Right. But we'll have to wait and see what happens there.
Darren Sinden, market commentator, Admiral Markets, thanks for your input today. We'll be back on Monday at 1 p.m. with the Wall Street Crossover Show.